The piano keyboard is a design that is as old as the hills, and it's been made by, not surprisingly, one human being for another one to play. So the design of it is really clever, and actually everything can be found really quite easily. Lots of the time we concentrate on looking at our musical instruments, especially pianists or guitarists, but if you consider a flautist, clarinetist, a brass player, they won't be looking at what the fingers are doing because it's all under the fingers, whereas the piano, of course, you can go from left to right, you can play lots of different octaves. But first, I'm going to show you how to find all of your chords in one octave span, because this is really important. Let's have a look. At the moment, we're working in C, so everything is white notes. And there is my C major chord, G, C and E. Many pianists think, oh yes, C is this. And that's fine, that's absolutely fine, there's nothing wrong with that C at all. I like to try and keep chords so that middle C really is in the centre point between two Gs. It's a good sort of starting point, or maybe two Fs if you like, but something that's within an octave span. If you consider a typist, they have an initial position, and then their fingers sort of spread outwards or downwards or upwards to find other letters. And actually, with that in mind, it means you can type without having to look. You can type with both hands or with all of your fingers, and things are much easier and quicker to compose, messages-wise. So I've got C here. Now, in order to move to an F chord, I move everything up one and then change to second finger on C. Like that. C, F. It's much, much easier than this. You have to judge lots of distances, and actually when you're looking at music or you're looking around at your bandmates, you're going to need to do this so that you're not looking. So C to F. It's a common thing. C to F is chord 1 to 4. And if I want to do 1 to 5, C to G, I do this. If I go to C to A minor, which is chord 1 to chord 6, all that's moved is my thumb there. If I want to go from C to chord 3, or chord 1 to chord 3, I just swap my finger in the middle and I have my E minor chord. If I want to go from C to D minor, everything shifts up by one note. So I've got everything actually within a G and an F here. So I've got it even closer than a G, G to G. But if you put your thumb on G and your last finger on G, it means that technically you can, if you're just counting up letters of the alphabet, you can find every other note here without looking. So for example, if I've got two Gs here, an F is going to be just one down, an A is going to be one up, G to C, G to D, G to B flat, G to F sharp, G to A flat. So you should be able to find every other note just by feeling your way around. So there's your E flat, D flat, B flat. So just reaching out slightly above for your black notes, for your sharps and flats. So it's a bit like a typist reaching up for the next row of letters. Now in the left hand, you could have a similar thing. I could have two C's here. So I could go, okay, well, C to F. I've just got 5 notes at the moment in my left hand. Or C to G, C to A minor, C to E minor. So this involves me, with my left hand, just stretching one below F. If I go C to D minor, I can just move my thumb up like that. It really is worth practicing these movements and kind of trusting your instincts a little bit here. Now, of course, if you're in different keys, you'll be using different sharps and flats and that sort of thing. So that is, but it's still really just finding middle C in the middle here, because that's where most guitar chords are as well. If you've got the first 3 strings of a guitar, that is your C chord. The other 2 notes on the guitar being the C and the E. So really, with the piano and guitar, they're kind of synonymous. It's the main 2 things that are used in a studio to play chords. It's all piano and guitar. There's your classic 1, 5, 6, 4. C to G to A minor to F. So what you can do is you can start by playing a C chord, then moving to every other chord. So C to F, C to G, C to A minor, C to E minor, C to D minor. But sooner or later you're going to need to go from D minor to an F, for example. Or a G to an E minor. Of course, all of this can be reproduced. If you've got your sustain pedal, you can start playing arpeggios, but that's a good thing to practice actually. It means that you are able to then span other octaves, and the same in the left hand. So that's the reason that arpeggios exist as a thing, is to not only learn your chords with the tonality involved, but also to feel your way around the piano. So feeling your way around is much better than looking at the thing all the time. Don't worry if you do look at the keys, it's fine. But if you're in a band, you're going to need to do some communication with your other band members. So there we are.